Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I want to thank the rapporteurs, in particular our Employment Rapporteur, Sergio Gutierrez Prieto, for his excellent work and good cooperation. Our committee looked at the social and employment aspects of the European semester, and to me these are central to the debate. They are not some side issue, they are not some afterthought to be taken into consideration when the economic issues are dealt with. That is why, in my opinion, social indicators are just as valid as economic ones, and in my view they should be binding. In our employment report we added additional indicators such as child poverty levels, access to health care, homelessness and a decent work index. The Commissioner for Human Rights from the Council of Europe, in his report on safeguarding human rights in times of economic crisis, said that most austerity measures have already exacerbated the already severe human consequences of the economic crisis, and that vulnerable and marginalised groups have been disproportionately hit. They are not just words, they describe the lives of real people. And yes, Mr Barroso, who I think is no longer with us, some small progress has been made, but for many countries it is not a sustainable model. Yes, deficits have been reduced, but debts mount. Last night in this Parliament I spoke of Eurostat figures from 2012, my own country Ireland. If you take the general government gross debt and consolidated private debt, that total debt as a percentage of GDP is a staggering 420%. In Portugal it is 340, in Greece 285 and in Spain 280. So without significant growth, those debt figures that I spoke of become overwhelming. And how can we have growth if we don't have targeted investments? Are we saying to those countries, tough, get used to it, the crisis will continue, the grinding, scraping along the bottom that we call progress will continue? Yes, people do associate with Europe with austerity. Why? That's because that's where the policy originates, ably assisted by some member states. In my own country, an assessment of the last 5 budgets showed that the hardest hit by those budgetary policies are the very rich and the very poor. That's why we need binding social targets.